Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of Games y Más, the podcast where we talk about all things board games, video games, and pop culture. On today's episode, we are joined by our good friend Thomas Hagena, who is currently working as a voice actor. We're going to hear his story of how he got into voice acting. We get to also hear about his projects that he was able to be a part of, as well as his current project that he's working on called Bedtime Chat. If you have a question you'd like to ask the podcast, feel free to message us. We're on all types of socials. We're on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You can even email us if you like. All that information on how you can contact us is going to be on the description. So, with all that being said, pull up a chair, grab some dice, y acompáñeme a jugar. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Games y Más. That was a good sync. I like that. That was good.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you guys so much for watching. We are here again with another episode. We are joined by Thomas Hagena. How you doing, Mr. Hagena?
Doing great, Vic. Thanks for having me.
I'm glad you're here. You joined us, and we're going to have a good time roasting you because this episode is going to be the roast of Thomas Hagena, guys. Here we go.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
It was it's going to be good. So let's talk about, just why. Why?
Why?
Yes.
Because.
Thank you guys so much for watching with this goofy intro here. We'll get the intros and all the announcements out of the way, and then we'll get into the podcast here.
Am I doing the announcements?
Yeah, go ahead. Announce away.
This is Vic.
And
that's all I have.
This is Thomas. Tell them about how they should go to our Universal episode because we're still doing that giveaway, the $200 giveaway to Amazon, and you got to click 1,000 likes gets the giveaway. Announce that.
1,000 likes, and you win the prize of the giveaway, the Universal giveaway prize.
No, you butchered it.
I don't know.
Okay, we are still doing a giveaway, guys. 1,000 likes to our Universal episode. Go ahead, go to that episode, click that like button, subscribe to our channel for more content, and as well, you'll get involved into the giveaway, $200 to Amazon.
Ooh.
So once we hit 1,000 likes on that Universal episode, you guys will be entered. We'll do a giveaway for $200. And then I have to announce this too because I made this challenge as well. After the Universal episode, we did another episode called We Are Games y Más. And that's an episode where we just kind of talked about the podcast, what we're all about. And I said, in that challenge, I kind of regret this challenge, but whatever, is 1,000 likes for that episode, and we will do a Taylor Swift episode. Yeah.
This is really surprising because of how much...
Yes.
How badly you were just talking about her.
Yes. So...
sounds like marital pressure.
I mean, yeah, Lydia was there. Yes, you're right. Yes. But again, I will be a man of my word. 1,000 likes for that episode. We'll talk about Taylor Swift. But guys, we don't want to talk about that. You guys want the $200 gift card to Amazon, right? You want to do that?
I would do that.
That would do that. So let's go. Let's go to that episode. 1,000 likes. We'll get $200 to that.
Or 200 likes for $1,000.
I mean, I don't have that kind of money, but I guess maybe. No, that would go quickly. That would go by so quickly.
I'm just saying.
People are asking for like 1,200 likes these days, or 12,000 likes, 6,000 likes. Hey, guys, we're doing another 6,000, all these videos. So I figured, I'm just a humble podcast, just starting off. 1,000 likes.
Humble is a strong word, but yes.
Wow, you don't think I'm a humbled podcast, huh?
Maybe with podcast, yeah, just in general.
Wow, okay, interesting.
It's just interesting.
Excuse me, sir, this is a roast about you, not about me, okay?
Oh, sorry.
Well, guys, yes, 1,000 likes. You almost made me say $1,000. 1,000 likes for our Universal video. $200 gift card. And also, we are also doing a Q&A segment whenever we get questions in. So if you want to ask us any questions about anything, send in your questions. You can email us, hit us up on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Whatever you guys want to ask us, we'll get those questions and we'll answer them on the next podcast. That one's, I look forward to that one because I don't read those questions. They just get thrown at me and off the wing, and I just am amazed.
It's a reversal episode.
Reversal episode.
Yeah, you get asked the questions.
Yes, exactly. So
you don't know what's coming.
I don't know what's coming. So send in those questions, guys, and I'm looking forward to hearing you guys. And then once again, thank you guys for supporting the podcast, reading your comments. I love reading your comments and your support. We love you guys. But we're here joined with Thomas Hagena, and once again, and he is a guy that I am a guy. Yes. I just met him like maybe 10 minutes ago. That was good. That was good introduction right there. I enjoyed it. Thomas, how long have I known you, bro? How long have we known each other for?
I'd say probably over 7 years.
Has it been 7 years?
Yeah, since I moved to LA.
Yeah.
Within the first several months.
You came
I'd
to
say.
did you come to the church when it was during we were in the school?
Yeah, the adult school. Mhm.
Okay, so I think that's where I remember
Yeah, you were playing the cajon.
cajon. I was playing the cajon at the time, and then I donated my drum kit, and I'm like, here you go, you guys use it. And then Damien at the time, he was the worship leader, was like, I know this. I met this guy. He's a drummer. I'm like, really? But I'm right here though. How did you just meet me? And then he's like, no, his name's Thomas. Like, oh, okay, interesting. And then you came along, and then I was like, oh, so this is the guy, huh? And he's like, yeah, this is the guy. And I was like, oh, okay. Well.
And Vic, are you still drumming now since I've come along?
So anyway, next question. We'll go ahead and continue on with the next question. No, I am not drumming because we have plenty of drummers now. We have you. The magnificent Tom the drum. We don't need me anymore to drum.
I'm just saying.
You know, I make sure you sound good when you're not sounding good. No, Thomas, you are an amazing drummer. You are great, and you are awesome. And
I don't know what to do with these, positive accolades. I feel like I'm on. Where's the but?
They're gold. There's no but. You're a good drummer. You stick to the script that is given to you, and I appreciate that. You know, we don't have to be like, hey, Thomas, you need to stick to your pocket. You know, you're getting out of the pocket. So
yes, I stay in my pocket.
Yes, and I enjoy that, and it makes
Stay in the
mixing
cage.
a lot better. Makes it even better. So, 7 years. Yeah, it's been 7 years, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. We've jammed together. We've played together. We've served together.
Yeah,
It's a wild ride. We still do serve together.
we do.
Thomas, I want to talk about you, man. For those that are listening and watching, Thomas, you are a voice actor.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's what I do for a living.
Cool.
I talk into microphones for a living in a
Yes.
closet.
In a closet?
Yep. Well, it's not a closet anymore. I have an actual booth. But,
Oh, you
but
upgraded.
But I joked. Yes, I would joke that I would just talk to myself in a padded room. So that's my joke.
In the dark?
No, well, no. There's lights.
Oh, okay.
I have lights in there.
But why do you need lights? No one's going to see you.
Right. Well, I
There-
still have to see what I'm doing, and I want to be a vampire.
Oh, okay.
I don't want to be like a 20-year-old gamer like I was back in the day, and just like sit in the dark.
In the
and
dark, just
use the
playing.
computer screen as light.
That's the best kind, though.
4 a.m.
4 a.m. gaming? Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, right, man.
I don't think I've ever gone that long gaming once.
Oh yeah. Well,
I think
you're
I've played-
Are you an actual gamer? If you haven't gone and all, if you haven't pulled an all
Like
nighter?
an all-nighter gaming? No, actually, I guess I'm not a gamer then. As long as I've gone is like 2 a.m.
Yeah.
But that's because I played since like 3 p.m. Went to 2 a.m.
Well, that's a long
Yes.
stretch.
So is that considered gaming? Or did I not reach that caliber yet?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I can't speak on that, but I suppose you got the longevity part.
Okay, so I'm almost that top tier gamer yet. I need to bust an all nighter. Backstory: we did a podcast episode when I had my old podcast.
Yeah.
We talked about voice acting and all that jazz and stuff. And I don't think I ever asked you this question, which I'm going to ask you on this podcast: is why voice acting? Why get into voice acting? Why do you decide to get into voice?
Well, I've always wanted to do something in entertainment. I'm originally from the Midwest.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, my family and I are going to move back because that's where all of our family is. And so, kind of future planning at the time, I wanted to do something in the entertainment industry, but be able to do that back where my family lives, which is South Dakota. And there's not a huge entertainment market there.
Yeah.
So, and I don't have a face for TV, but I do have a face for radio. So I knew that, being able to, maybe do something on the voice acting side, because it's still acting, but be able to work from anywhere. And really, since the technology's always been advancing, but especially since COVID, since 2020, have things really leapt forward in that realm.
Yeah.
And so there's still facets of the voice acting side that you still go into to a studio for. But for what I primarily focus on, which is the commercial side, like business narration, that I haven't been into a studio since COVID.
Really?
To be honest. So maybe
It's all been from home?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. So I've been able, because they have different technology. Like Zoom is a big thing, but they also have something called Source Connect, which allows you to, or it sounds like it does now, but I could be in New York City and you be here in LA, but it sounds like it does now.
Really?
But then you record on your end, the engineer side. So, and I could just record, I do the thing, and then I'm done.
Yeah.
And you have all that audio file, you have all the audio files. And so that technology has been around for a long time, but in my experience, it's been a lot more utilized now.
Interesting. And you never thought about you never thought about going into acting first before you did
like on camera stuff?
Yeah, like on camera stuff. Did you want to be like, I want to do acting, or is it straight voice acting? I just want to do voice acting.
Yeah.
You never thought about doing like?
No, I did some background stuff, and I had some featured parts on TV because for those that are listening, I have red hair, so it's it's the color of
pops.
Yeah, it's the color that pops. So I did some background work, and I thought about keeping that door open, but I knew that I would never really want to pursue it because that side is a lot more cutthroat, I think. And voice acting is a very supportive community, and it's very it's unsuperficial in the way that just because you look a certain way, you're not going to get the role, or you're going to get the role because you look a certain way. With voice acting, it's very much like, it's very objective, I think, subjective maybe is. I don't know what it's like somebody who could be listening to it and it could be like, you sound too much like my ex, or you sound like my son, so I will hire you or I won't hire you. It's like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of it is still it's still acting, because you still got to be able to, for the commercial side, you still got to be able to convince people to to bring in the listener and to convince them that they might want to check out the product or buy it. Business narration is kind of the same thing, where you want to, your tone kind of sets the style for the
right.
So that's where the majority of the work is. I love animation, I love video games.
Yeah.
But everybody wants to do it, and so it's a lot more
competitive.
It's competitive, and there's not as many rules for that. So the everyday grind is all about the commercial side.
Right. Interesting. Yeah. So again, for those listening, yes, Thomas Hagena, voice actor, and got to get a little history, his introduction of why he became into voice acting. The bulk of this episode, I want to talk about your project that you're working on about Bedtime Chats. I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
I'll get into that. But before we get into that meat and grind stuff, we got to get into the icebreaker questions that I like to bring on. At the beginning, we kind of did a little banter, but now let's get into the meat of the podcast. But before we do that, I always do it. Here at Games and Mouse, we do two icebreaker questions, and we want to get your input. That maybe we could do some dialogue with that, and then we'll continue on from there. But I just wanted to get your little intro of who you are, for those of you that are listening or watching, of who is Thomas Hagena? Who is this gentleman here that is filling my ear canals with his voice? And so, but for those that listen at home and watch, you always know that here at Games and Mouse, we do two icebreaker questions. And those two icebreaker questions here at Games and Mouse are, number one is, what is your favorite board game of all time? And second question, part two, is what is your favorite video game of all time? Now, when I say board game, people always think of like Monopoly or Clue and stuff like that, which is fine if you want to go. But I'm including in that genre dice games, card games, anything tabletop games. I'll include that as well. And in video games, if you don't have a certain video game you've played, like console-wise or PC, I'll include arcade games if you want to go like an arcade game you played. So, and again, if you don't have a response for anyone, you can always go for the second question. Or if you don't have any at all, then you don't have any.
I'm a gamer, so I do have a second one.
Yes.
I can answer the second one. The first one, I've gotten really into poker recently, but that's not really a game. Because I was just thinking card games, but
like Texas Hold'em?
Yeah.
Texas Hold'em's fun.
Like in the last couple of years.
It's a type of card game.
But it's not a board, but it's not this.
It's still,
I'm not on your level when I'm looking at all of these and I'm like, I don't recognize any of them. This is like hardcore stuff.
You don't know? Oh yeah, most of these games we're pointing toward my wall of board games. Yeah, I really don't have any like custom.
Yeah, I like Risk.
Okay.
I've gotten into. I started getting into Axis and Allies, But
That's more of a
But that was like a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
And then that was like during COVID. I'd gotten it for our wedding.
Yeah.
But then we had a kid a few years ago, and that's when I was like, of course, I'm going to start trying it now.
Yeah.
But then that happened, so I never got it.
Got
So I
into
have
it.
this game that I haven't actually played.
You've never even read the rules?
I've read the rules, but I spent like the first 2 days reading them.
Oh my! Is it that long? The rules?
Yeah, it's a pretty big book. Yeah,
I've seen the box for Axis and Allies. I've actually wanted to buy it, but never did. So I always thought it'd be like, this is just another Risk. I don't want to play it.
Yeah,
But, it could be
there's
wrong.
different. There's I guess because I I didn't really get into it because we stopped because of the birth of our child.
Yeah.
But there's you still build up resources, and you have to allocate those resources to build up your army or
Okay.
to build up I mean it's that kind of thing. So
Yeah,
Risk
okay.
is more so like you just get army resources, and
Place
where do you put your armies?
Yes.
And
okay.
this is like you get wood and you get material to build your army.
Yeah.
So you choose, do you want to buy an aircraft carrier or a fighter plane?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different. But that's as far as I got. So
Yeah.
people who are listening who are into it, I'm sorry. I probably have
Sorry.
things mixed up now. But
Yeah.
but video game wise, the first console I ever got was a PS1.
Okay.
That back when it was just PlayStation.
Yes.
But Final Fantasy VII was my favorite game.
Oh, yeah.
And so like I hadn't played an RPG since probably Final Fantasy X.
Really?
Yeah,
Stopped off
Final
at 10?
Fantasy X was also a
good
very
one.
very good game that I loved. But 7 was the first game, and I think that had my heart. And
Okay.
so like now that the new ones have come out, and I
remakes, yeah.
think the Rebirth is coming out this month.
Yes.
The end of the month.
Yep.
So it's a little bit different. So it's intriguing how.
Have you played the new ones? The remake?
Yeah. I have the.
Did you like it, or what do you
I
think?
did, yeah. I mean, there's callbacks to like very familiar things that happen.
Yes.
But they're changing it, and I like. I'm kind of torn on that because I like the fact that it's a little bit it's new that way.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit very unsuspecting.
Uh-huh.
But there's elements of the old part in there. The main events that happen,
Right.
and to see it in the to see it in the graphics on
it is, yeah.
PS4 or 5.
Yeah.
I guess PS5 now is this new one is going to only be on.
Yeah.
Is pretty cool. And I remember them talking about, redoing the game, like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. Yeah.
And like, it was always rumors. And then all of a sudden they come out with it. And what's really cool, that would be, I don't want to say a dream, but definitely a big career goal would be in a game that I really admire and that I love. Would be a voice actor in that. So in this new one that they redid, there's a lot of colleagues, a lot of people that I know that are in the game.
No way.
And that's a really cool thing.
Really?
Like, I'm really happy for them, but like, I want to be in it.
Yeah, like, hey, invite
So
me, send me an
much.
invite.
Yeah. Can I see that audition, please? I don't care. I'll do it for free.
I'll be a soldier. It's okay. Don't worry. I'll be one of like the extra soldiers.
Right. So I'm like, oh, that's cool. I know so-and-so's voice, or that's so-and-so. So that was really cool.
Interesting.
To kind of see
Interesting.
that this many years later.
I haven't played the remake. I've played 7. Actually, never beat 7 because it's so long.
Yeah, I don't know if I ever did either.
I think I'd
Because I was
like.
borrowing it.
Yeah, I had
Borrowed
it.
it from a friend.
I emulated it on my computer because I obviously like I didn't have a PlayStation 1. So I emulated it on my computer like years, and I started playing it. And I think I got to the part where you leave the city finally. And
Oh, you were early on,
yeah,
bro.
yeah, and then you're like out, and then like I got to like explore the map, right?
Yeah.
And so that's where I stopped, and I was like, oh man, because I was in the city. I felt
Did you get
forever.
the airship?
No, we didn't get. No, did I?
Oh, yeah, you're pretty.
Yeah, I was early on in the game.
Yeah, you
but
were
I felt
really
like it was
early.
forever because I mean I guess I took my time on it in the very beginning, and so I was like, oh, this game's long. And then when we finally got out of the city, I'm like, all right, cool. And then I'm like, wait, how long is this game? And then I got disinterested and stopped playing, and then I just started playing other games and stuff. But I've never played the new one, and I'm curious: is the new one turn-based, or did they get rid of that turn-based?
No,
type?
it's gone.
Is it? So it's just
Yeah.
like real time now?
Yeah.
Like, really? How does that play out, though? How does that pan out?
It's fine actually.
Okay.
It's good. I for Final Fantasy X was turn based as
Yes,
well.
yes.
And then they came out with, and I say this because they came out with 10-2,
Yeah.
which was like a follow up to that
Yeah.
one. And that was real time.
Yeah.
And I did not like that.
Really?
I actually stopped playing it because I was like,
I can't handle this.
I don't like this.
Yeah.
I was so used to turn based, and
taking your time, thinking yourself, taking your turn.
Yeah, and just like, and I don't know, maybe it was the fact that I was just enjoying like the hits that hit and the ones that, just, I don't know.
Yeah.
But this one you have to obviously it's just real time, so you're just button mashing.
the whole time.
Yeah,
Really. Yeah. I have a love hate for those type of games, the button masher games. Like I love Kingdom Hearts. I love playing that game.
Yeah,
and it's a big beat 'em up button mashing game. Just keep pushing and stuff. And I enjoy it, but like I would prefer more turn-based games because I can take my time. I'm thinking, okay, he's vulnerable to this. What can I do here? My move. What do I do on my turn here? What do I do this? And I'm like, I can take my time thinking instead of like, oh no, I have to hurry up. You're like, I can't think. And like, and if you implement that kind of stuff to a video game where you have to button mash, now you have to think like, oh, he's vulnerable to this, but like he's attacking me right now. I have to switch my weapon, but you're doing it all like, and I'm like, just like I start freaking out. I'm like, there's so much going on. I can't do it. Everyone needs to pause so I can just like wait. And so I love those types of like turn-based games, or even games where like they're the I forgot what they're the genre of the games are type of like XCOM, or those games where it's like bird's eye view.
Oh,
and like you move, like if you move, you have a certain number of movements, and then you can attack, and then you see like the percentage. Like I like those type of games because it's more strategy, more like type of like you're thinking. Because I like to think when I'm playing the video games, but I'll play a good button mashing game, a good beat 'em up game, anything like that where it's the visuals are lights are flashing everywhere, and you're just doing insane combos and stuff like that.
When it comes to like shooters, like Borderlands, like that kind of stuff, I always tend to gravitate more towards tanks to just go in there and wreak havoc.
Just start.
So so I became okay with just like like the real time games.
Just go in and just start hacking, slashing.
I just tank up on health and strength, and I just go in and just take all the
smash everything.
And just, cause chaos.
Hulk smash.
That's
everything.
what I learned that I typically like to do.
Okay.
Not be a rogue, but a tank.
Tank?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I like to be a, not a rogue, more like a sniper. I like to be from the distance and just pick
the lone wolf.
Yes.
That fits you well, Vic.
But like support. I'm the support though. Like, you're going in there, but I'm like taking out the grunts while you go and take on the big guy.
Yeah.
So like, I'm supporting you, but from a distance, but I look cool when I do it.
We all need tanks. We all need snipers.
That's true.
Support.
We all need those types of people. So Final Fantasy VII, your number one game.
Yeah, I'd say so.
And then board game wise, you don't really have a set score. Like I said,
I haven't. I never no. I mean, other than the traditional board games.
Yeah.
No,
nothing.
I didn't really get into really deep stuff.
Yeah, I consider poker a type of board game. It's tabletop. There is some strategy involved because you have to think of like the hand that you're dealt with, and then everyone else's hand.
It's deceiving everybody else too.
Yeah. So it's like, but there's a bunch of board games that are like those type of deceiving games. Sheriff of Nottingham, you're lying about your contraband if you have contraband. There's a bunch of all those type of games that you have to deceive. So poker falls in that line, but poker's more like, it's like
that's a card. Card
game,
game,
gambling, and you're bluffing your way to make everyone else lose their money and you gain their money. So we'll lean more towards your video game wise is Final Fantasy VII. And it was good listening to how you got into voice acting, the history of that. You want to name off, we'll give you a moment to brag here, but some projects that you've worked on previously that some people might find you. I will say that a big one for me is Mortal Shell.
Yeah.
You were a voice in Mortal Shell. For those of you that played Mortal Shell, I got to the final boss and I can't beat the final boss. So I just give up on the game.
I've never even played the game.
Yeah, you're in the game. You never played the game.
It was a free game for, I think, for PlayStation Plus.
Yes.
And I got it, but I have not yet played it. It's not my type of game to play, honestly.
You don't like Dark Souls-esque type of games?
No, but it's a Dark Souls type of game. It's dark. But yeah, I never played it. But yeah, I play Heros, which is one of the playable characters.
Mm-hmm.
So like in the lore, that's where you'll hear my voice lines. And then also one of the other characters is Thestis. He's the guy that...
The old guy.
Yeah. So I play both. And that was the guy that I actually originally auditioned for.
Oh.
And I booked. And then they came back to me a little bit later and was like, hey, we got this character. And they made it seem like it was just very...
Whatever.
Yeah. Yep. So I was like, yeah, sure. I'm like, this is definitely not the type of character that I play.
Yeah, but you just run with it.
Because I have a tenor voice.
Yeah.
And this guy was like, okay, when I was reading the character description, I was like, this guy's a seasoned soldier, and that's not me.
Yeah.
But
I fought in the battlefield, and you're like, what is this?
But but if you listen to it, like they pitched me down. So
yeah, it's funny playing that game because anytime, when I was that character, I would just hear your voice and I just start laughing. So I'm just like, this is Thomas. I can hear you, bro. Like I've known you. Some people that are playing that I've never like known. They're like, oh yeah, this is a character. But for me, I was just like, this is Thomas.
Yeah.
Especially when you're the older guy, and that's just like your voice. It's not
they
like
didn't do anything. To that
and I was like, this is really Thomas. Like, but I feel like the first character that you play out, the one that like modulated you.
Yeah.
I feel like that's more fitting for you, because because of how the character is.
Yeah.
And then when you meet the old guy and it's like your voice, I'm like, it doesn't match. Because the guy's super old. You have like that, welcome, traveler. And you're like, welcome, traveler. Like, it's like your voice. And I'm just like,
no, I sound like that. I sound seasoned. What
no,
are you talking about?
It didn't sound seasoned. It sounded like you were normal. And I was just like,
no, it did not sound like
are you
this,
are you an 80-year-old man or you're a 35-year-old guy? Who are you?
You don't even know what. No, I disagree.
I mean,
I got hired for a reason for that part, for the old voice.
You didn't sound old. It sounded like normal.
Because you know me. So
exactly. That's why I was like,
you hear characterizations of my voice in there, and so that you're just like, oh, I recognize it.
That's why I said
that's
like
why.
It didn't make sense to me to like I was like, oh yeah, I know this guy. You don't look the part. The other character you did. Because like this modulated and all, like for a minute I have to be like, is this Thomas? Like, oh, it is Thomas.
Yeah, because they modulated.
Yes.
So that's what you're saying.
Yes,
I can only do modulated characters.
Yes, it's great for you. It works out for you. It's good content, and keep hiring for those. Keep doing those roles, please.
Yeah.
For the sake of all gamers, keep doing those roles.
That was probably the main game that,
Mortal Shell, yes.
the first lead role that I had in the game.
Okay.
But then I've been in like the 2K NBA, like the NBA 2K series. I was in like 3 of those the last few years.
What did you do for that? What did you do for those?
I did like.
Were you in the crowd?
Yeah, I did. I did the crowd for the very first like next gen version. So like the PS5 and Xbox Series X, like that version of NBA when it first came out. And then I was in the subsequent games after that. And I think I was like NPCs in the world that you interact with in the the what do they call it? Like the lobby of the online.
Yeah. Like
the
people,
online lobby, that kind of thing.
You're like, what's up, LeBron? How's it going?
Yeah. You want to get buff, bro? When you step inside.
Oh, okay.
No, so like that stuff. And then like Brawl. So I've been in some mobile games as well. And Brawl Stars is the biggest one that I was probably more known for.
Okay.
So I played Leon in Brawl Stars, and I didn't know that was a big thing until actually somebody came up to me in church and was like, "Dude, you were in this. Like, this is your like my son's playing that game." And so like that was the first time I like did the voice for somebody.
Oh.
But then I started, but I was under a pseudonym when I first did it, and then I went on like IMDb and I put that out there, and all of a sudden like people started hitting me up for interviews and that kind of thing, and I that's when I found out how big the Brawl Stars community was.
Really? And
it's pretty loyal, pretty big fan base, and
really,
so yeah, pretty committed.
Has that been out for a while?
Yeah, I did that role in I don't know 2018 maybe is when it came out, but I did the voice for it for Leon in 2019, and I think if it came out in 2019,
yeah.
So like the patch for the voice.
Okay.
But the game came out not too long before that.
Really, and it got a big following, and you had a big community.
I mean, like it was like the people who were like people who were into it, like they were really like they
got into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That was when I first found out, and YouTubers that's their content, like reached out and
really.
So yeah, but those are probably the main games that I was. Farlight 84 is a most recent one. That's also a mobile game. I'll be in another one coming up. I don't think it's released yet. Storm Striker, I think is what it's called.
All these apps are apps easier to like book. You think?
It seems like I booked these on my own. I haven't needed an agent. For those particular ones.
Right.
For the mobile games.
Right.
So and they're based in these games are based in I think China and Korea, like the companies, like Lilith is one.
Yeah, Lilith.
Supercell I think is based in Europe, which is Brawl Stars.
Yeah, I don't have time to play app games. I have too many video games to play that I go through with the sad boys.
I'm a console player as well. So
there you go. And okay, so app games. What do you think is the more competitive field when it comes to voice acting? Do you think video game voice acting or animation like film?
Oh, like film? Definitely film.
Film is more competitive than video games. You have more people in that genre.
Because it's not just because you have a bunch of people doing it, but there's also less opportunities as well.
Right.
Less roles.
That's true. Yes.
So,
and then everyone's trying to get the big name.
Yeah. So
big name
like,
actors.
you'll never get somebody in my level. I would have to be a celebrity to
Get those
before I get a lead role in a
roles,
game,
yes.
or in a movie, and actually in games now too.
Yeah.
It's a big thing.
Yeah, everyone wants to. Yeah.
Like especially Call of Duty, like you'll recognize, and it makes sense, right? You want them to bring you want them to bring their stardom to the game, to bring the interest, and like,
yeah, for sure.
who's the lead role in that? Oh, Thomas Hagena. Who?
Who's that guy?
I don't care. But The Rock. Oh, I don't see that.
Yeah, I'll buy the game.
Yeah,
I don't know who
right.
Thomas is. I don't know who Thomas is. So you're saying for those roles, so if you were to go for those types, you'd be going for like more NPC characters or like side characters that
So in video,
are more easy, not easier to book, but like more like achievable to book than to like, I can't be the main character in the next Final Fantasy game. Like obviously they have someone chosen in mind.
actually, well, I mean, so it's interesting because, well, for animation, I mean, definitely they, I was talking to somebody who we know who works at Disney, and they were like, why don't you want to go for Disney, stuff for Disney? I was like, I do, but like I could never get those roles.
Ain't no one knocking on my door.
They'd be like, I would be like, when you see the credit roll and you see like additional voices, that's what I would be doing.
Okay.
That's the only thing I could get. But when it comes to like main characters, maybe a side character, but like I'd have to have a little bit of stardom, I think, and even to get those star characters,
Right.
those side characters. But video games, actually, like we bring, like you talked about, NPCs. Yeah, those are easier to get. There's a lot more of those because video games have a bigger world typically,
Right.
and so that would be through an agent that I get those auditions. But like for Final Fantasy, for example, the main actors for those characters, some of them are not well known,
yeah.
and which is pretty cool because they wanted to kind of voice match previous versions of these characters that they'd had in some different games. Like Cloud, I think had a voice in
Advent Children, the movie.
Advent Children,
Yeah.
for example, and same with those other characters. So they wanted to have, I think, more of a voice match and keep that
Kind
a
of
little
like
bit consistent.
consistency.
Yeah. So that
Interesting.
was pretty cool that somebody who isn't as well known gets opportunities to do that. But
I can see you like as a lead role for video games.
thank you.
I can
Just
see
not
you-
an old person, right?
not an old, not an old person. Like
Is this
like
guy 30 or is he 80?
He's 80. I don't understand. But I can
Hey
see
there,
you
kids.
like because what I think about like is like Rockstar, with their game, the GTA games and their like Red Dead Redemption 2, like the Arthur Morgan's character, like the actor. No one knew him. No one knew who that was.
Yeah,
I mean, and now he blew up, and now same with Kratos, the voice of Kratos with the new God of War games. I mean, he's been around, but like the new games kind of boosted him up more.
Yeah, he's got a very distinct
Yeah, like this voice, like
low bass voice.
boy. Yeah, and like,
boy.
yeah, come here, boy, Zeus. Yeah, he has that voice. So I feel like, I think you I'm not like speaking it to fruition, but like I think you're.
No, you can do it.
I'll speak into fruition.
I
like,
don't believe it, but you can do it.
I'll speak into fruition that I think you'll be in like a AAA game, like as big as like Red Dead. You might
would
be,
be awesome.
You might be in Red Dead 3. Who knows?
The guy who plays John lives in like Indiana or Ohio or something like
John
that.
Marston,
Yeah, John Marston. That he's got a very distinct voice, but you don't see him in anything else. But
Exactly, yeah. But like if you see him outside, and you hear his voice, like, oh, you're John Marston,
Yeah.
and like people gravitate
That's
to
how he
that.
talks.
Yeah, and so I think like obviously not GTA 6 is already coming out, but you could be in the next Red Dead 3 or next game.
I'll
I
take
think-
that.
And like I'll speak into fruition. I think you will be. You just got to keep working at your work. I mean, you are not like you're not sitting around, but you're working to it. And you got I think you're building your credentials correctly, and your work shows for it. And you've already been in a video game. You played.
Yeah.
You've been in multiple video games. You've done apps, so it's like this is not new stuff. So like I feel like, Rockstar. If anyone that watches my podcast is in Rockstar, hire this guy. That's all I gotta say. Or anyone that's in the industry, Naughty Dog or
Insomniac.
Bethesda, Insomniac,
Bethesda for sure.
um,
I'll take it, Vic.
EA, maybe I guess. Anyone that watches that or buddy, let's get this guy into some lead roles. All right, my faithful 3 followers. Let's let you guys know. You guys know some people. No, everyone. Yeah, let's get this guy hooked up. Let's get him into some lead roles because he's a great guy, and an okay drummer. But oh, did I say that? Oh, I'm sorry.
But a great actor.
But a great actor, yes.
Yeah,
great.
that's the important part.
Great actor.
Drumming doesn't have anything to do with this part.
You have to be good at drumming to be good at voice
Timing.
acting.
It helps with timing.
Yeah, you need to time your lines correctly within the tempo of the game. So see, music is life. Music is everywhere, and in voice acting. So there you go. See that analogy, guys. But yeah, let's get this guy hooked up, guys. Let's get him into Red Dead 3. All right, Rockstar. I know you're listening. Get him into Red Dead 3. He can be Arthur Morgan's brother, or someone, or I don't even know. That's gonna be a great game when it comes out. But let's focus on this last half of the podcast. Let's focus on your project that you're working on right now, Bedtime Chats.
Yeah.
Right. That's called Bedtime
Chat. Yeah.
Chat. Bedtime Chat.
Singular.
I mean,
it could be plural,
but you
it
do
doesn't
multiple,
matter.
so it is multiple. It's not singular.
That is true.
So Bedtime Chat.
Yes.
Parentheses S.
Yeah. Right.
There you go.
Bracket.
So walk me through it. Why Bedtime Chat? Why this sudden need to or urge to create this YouTube project here?
So so it's a YouTube channel that I started a couple weeks ago, actually now. But I saw an openness in the market when it came to give a premise for those that are listening. It's kind of it deals with humans and AI. It's a collaborative collective, we'll just say, where I take crowdsourced story elements like people, places, location, plot, and I plug those ideas into AI chatbot like ChatGPT. Basically, tell it to write a story based on these ideas. It spits out a story, and so what I do is I create images to go along with it through AI, and it's more focused on it's like the audience, target audience is for younger families. So the stories are for younger kids,
right?
And so I narrate it, but it's you can mute me and read it with the subtitles, read it to your families, but I saw it because for storytelling, that's what I do for a living, and for families with young kids or even any kids, you know how many times you read a book over and over.
Yeah.
And for the parent, to be honest, like it can get a little bit tiring and a little bit boring and
speaking from experience.
Speaking from experience,
yeah.
Yes, like a million times. And I was like, I just want to come up with some new stuff. And I'm not a creative person when it comes to story writing or story creation, other than like action figures, but to make it appealing to a broader audience.
Right.
That's where I was like, okay, well, AI, I heard of, ChatGPT a year ago in January of 2022. I remember being in Dallas and hearing about it. And I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. And then it's just AI in general has just blown up. That was the year of 2023, I think, when it comes to technology.
Right.
And so I saw kind of a niche in the market, and I'm pretty sure nobody else is doing this. From what I can tell, people have, of course, used AI to write stories, but to crowdsource these ideas and to come up with a story and basically do an audiobook, and on YouTube it's got pictures to go along with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought this could be pretty kind of a cool idea, and if it blows up, awesome. But I think it's kind of fun for those that are really interested in it to be a part of the story. Where I just I use a name randomizer and I just pick these ideas. So Vic's got an idea for a plot. I've got an idea for a person. Somebody else has got an era or location, whatever, and then whatever we want to use, and it creates that story.
Interesting.
So it should be different. I'm still kind of working out, really the language to get it to make the stories unique. And so I got to play around with that a little bit more, because there's still like elements of it that from what I've been playing with, that the idea is the same. Like this happens, so then this happens, and oh, that's surprising. But it's like it's been like that. So
Yeah.
I need to. That's what's cool about AI though, is that it's all developing and it's all changing, and it's only going to get better and more accurate.
Yeah.
And so that's where I'm like, well, I'm not going to be phased out. And especially in my world in voiceover, like that's been a huge thing, AI in general. And that can be a topic for later, or that can be another topic in the future. But that's something that that has been like, we had an organization that was basically started to help advocate for voice actors and the protected use of our voice and that kind of thing.
Right.
So you adapt or die, and technology's always been kind of the part of voice acting that's been you had to be out either in LA or New York to do voice acting. Technology made it so you could do it anywhere.
Yeah.
COVID propelled that, so you could literally, it doesn't matter. You don't have to come into the studio now. to be there. Yeah. That's what technology did. And so now there's AI, and this is a way of me kind of embracing it and being like, hey, what can I do that nobody else is doing right now? And there's going to be, it's not an idea that can be protected, of course, but it's like, I'm at least, I think, got to get foot up on people when it comes to this stuff.
You're kind of one of the first to take this idea.
A human AI story collective.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool. And so you gather information from people that give you ideas and you build them. Are you doing the voices of the characters as well, or do you kind of get other people to come in?
Doing everything.
Okay. Do you want to just be it like that, where it's just you, or were you eventually like, hey, you want to come in and do a quick voice for John and Sally? Just do 3 lines. You just got to do these 3 lines.
Yeah, I'm not going to give too much away, but there's definitely ideas of how to grow the channel.
Yeah. Okay.
But right now, where I'm at, I'm doing everything.
Yeah.
So, and that's where I want to stick at for a little while now.
Futurize, maybe build a team or something like that.
Yeah. Maybe, the goal for sure is to build a team, and I'm not planning on making this my full-time job, but I want to get to the point where it's self-sustaining and I can put money towards it.
Right. It's like you said, if it takes off, it takes off, and you know you got the potential.
There's definitely a pathway that I've seen in my head where okay, these different levels is where I can get to, and so there's definitely potential to grow it and for it to be self-sustaining.
But obviously, you're gearing your channel towards kids and listening
for young families.
For young families to listen to that.
So like 2 to 8. I mean, anybody can listen to it, but like I'm not gonna have adult type themes in there,
right?
Because that's why I put that age group in there, just so somebody's not throwing in ideas that's just like, oh, I can't use that.
Right.
My 2-year-old's gonna have nightmares, that kind of thing.
Interesting. Okay, that's pretty cool. And I think that's a brilliant idea that you're starting off. You're one of the first. Obviously, people might want to get on board with that, but at least you got the leg up on that, saying, "Hey, I did it first." Bedtime Chat.
Yeah, and there's ways. Yeah, I've got ideas to make it unique. So like if there's a bunch of other people that do it, that's fine. But I've got there's things I can do to make it really different that nobody else can do, just because of where I'm at.
Right. Interesting. My career. Are you solely YouTube? Are you in Spotify? Are you Amazon?
I've not put it on audio only.
So you're doing just video and audio on YouTube only as well.
Yeah. Yep. And I mean, I could just do the audio only. I don't know. I heard of this just actually a couple months ago, but there's something called a Tony, TONIE, and it's basically like a modern day cassette player. That's like the best way to put it.
Really?
Yeah, but it's got all these. It's like a box, and you can buy all these little. I don't know what you want to call them, action figures, but they're called Tonys. So it's a Tony box is the thing, and then these little Tonys are. They must have a partnership with Disney, a licensing agreement, because they have a bunch of,
like Disney characters,
characters, and they're each unique. So they have stories from that character. So if it's Cinderella, it's a story of Cinderella, and then like several songs as well.
Oh, okay.
But it's all. I mean, they have Bluey. They have, some different like Paw Patrol, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So this is obviously for younger kids.
Right.
But I really liked how the production was done on that, because it's like an audiobook.
Right.
In some cases. And so like sometimes they're 20-minute stories. and my kids are obsessed with it. And so
Really?
that was another part. I had this idea before I heard of the Tony, but that's where I was like, okay, I love the production value that these are giving, and that's kind of the level that I wanted to set. And you can get customized Tony, so I'm not trying to sponsor Tony here.
Yeah,
but
But they want to sponsor you. Though.
hey, I would take that. Yes, or maybe
Tony
you
sponsor.
Maybe yes.
I mean,
But they
shout out to Tony.
but they have customizable ones, so I actually put my stories on these customized
Oh,
ones.
no way!
And so my kids actually, they're obsessed with it, listening to it over and over. No
Really?
pressure from me,
Yeah.
but they love the stories, and so that's where I know, like, okay, I want the production value, the audio production value, to be top class.
Nice.
So
You got
that's what I was focusing
two number
on.
one fans at home.
Yeah. As long as I can get them happy, then that's fine. That's what I'll focus on.
Interesting. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I like the idea. I think it's going to be a good idea to ramp up. Obviously, yeah, I mean, no offense, but I can't relate to that because I don't have kids.
Yeah.
But I think it's a perfect idea. I'm pretty sure my best friend would like that with his two daughters. I'm pretty sure he would like the little alternative to cool and implementing stories and
it's meant to get families involved and get them talking, because you ask my daughter, like, she's 3.5 right now, and you could ask her what do you want to hear, what kind of story do you want to hear, and so it lets you know, like, what are they presently thinking about, what are they into,
right,
and it's meant to get families to talk and to, like, okay, well, maybe we can put this idea, and maybe we'll hear it,
right,
and if it
it comes out to something,
right,
creative,
yeah. So it's pretty cool that I think it's a neat idea to get people together and families together and maybe listen in and see if their idea was used or
for sure,
not.
definitely, yeah. That's really cool, man. I like that. I'm glad I was able to bring you on here to share that, and hopefully, if you are listening, you can go ahead and check that out. Where can they find you on YouTube? Where on YouTube,
Instagram, Facebook. But the handle on YouTube is at Bedtime Chats.
Bedtime Chat.
Yep. So with an S.
With an S. Oh wow, you're giving me flag
because the singular term was used by somebody. They don't even use it. I think so I was like, how do I take this channel?
Tell YouTube.
This
I'm
handle.
pretty sure they give it to you.
Well,
it might take a while, but they'll give it to you.
Yeah, maybe
eventually.
But at this point, it is at Bedtime Chats on YouTube.
At Bedtime Chats.
Yes.
Not chats.
But it is, yes. So anyway, it is on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram. You just search for it, and it's a little robot reading a book. So that's the.
And I'll leave a link. To your channels on our description.
Sure.
Go ahead and check them out. I think we'll wrap it up here. Thomas, thank you so much for joining us here, talking about your career as a voice actor. I never heard the backstory of why you want to be becoming a voice actor. I just knew you were a voice actor.
Yeah.
For all I know,
always been.
I mean, for all I know, you were born.
True.
You just got born and had a mic. You're like, goo goo gaga, and put it in a line. You became the line of the babies in Fallout when you were born. You were that voice actor. There you go. See, good.
Yeah. There you go.
But thank you again for joining. Thank you guys so much for watching. Check out Bedtime Chat on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. You're not on TikTok, huh?
Not on TikTok right now.
So so Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. And you're posting, like, I see you post a lot of, like, feedback, like, because it says user input generated, right?
Yeah, so weekends, so typically Sundays, I think, is when I'm going to post those surveys. I'm still figuring out the structure,
Gotcha.
but
So,
Sundays.
check it out on Sundays. Check out his stories. Give him some feedback. Give him some ideas that he would get some stories going. And thank you again for joining us. Thank you again so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video and check out his channels. Go support him. And Bethesda and Rockstar, I know you guys are listening. Hire this man to your next AAA game. You will not be sorry, because I want a free game.
I'm begging.
For my benefit, I want to know what the next game is.
Of course.
But again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Y nos vemos para la próxima.